One day at a time, sweet Jesus.
One day at a time, sweet Jesus. That's all I'm asking from you. Just give me the strength
Yes.
to do every day what I have to do. That's a powerful prayer, Mikey G. Just one day at a time. And that's all we need. With all the things that come and bombard us, all the stresses that come our way, if we just live this reality, it's a different space, Mikey G, to just maintain your peace and your calm in the
Mm.
midst of chaos. And certainly I am happy that we have that opportunity to, of course, pray and to trust God in the middle of our situations. So good morning, listeners, whether you're tuned in on YouTube or Facebook. It is a beautiful morning, and we are happy, super happy to be right here with you on the breakfast hour. Yes.
It is, for me, when I listen to the song itself, and it tells the story of that day by day reassurance that you get by
Yes.
just knowing that you have a savior, you have someone who you can count on
Uh
and will
huh.
not disappoint. It changes everything. It doesn't matter what new frontier you're going to be taking on. It don't matter where and how it's going to happen. By trusting in your Savior, trusting in God, everything seems to just fall into place. Have you just noticed that you have gone through so many crises in your life, so many difficult spots, things
Hmm.
and times when you think you will never get past this moment, and this will just end me right here. And of course, oh my God, this is not going to happen. I'm never going to survive this. This is the end. And yet still, you are still here. Having said that, I want to say to you good morning to those who are just joining us on our Facebook page, our Instagram, and of course our YouTube. Good morning to you. Of course, we are listening to people having the experience on TikTok these days of flashpoint, flash mornings, talking and everything. And as we continue to broaden our spectrum and our horizons, we thank God for giving us the knowledge, the wisdom, and the understanding of how to do what we do. And to thank Him for continually blessing the entire team that continue to produce and to work behind the scenes of what we do right here at Flashpoint. So this morning we want to thank everyone. We want to thank you, our viewing listener audience, whether you be on our web radio that continues every day at www.flashpointmedia.ky every single day. Today is actually what we call Yardy Link Up Day. So come on after the afternoon, in the afternoon, Yardy Link Up. Check out the Yardy Link Up and come link up all the Yardies. Like, hey, I always ask the question, how is it possible for a Yardie to be living in Alaska? What you doing down there with the Eskimos? I'm just wondering, But guess what? If you go to Alaska, a Yardie down there, we're going to ask him a question later on. Brother, why you down in Alaska? What you down here though? Everywhere cold, you're a summer bird. What happened to you, brother? And so I want to say this morning to all of you other listeners, Yardie Link Up come up later on in the afternoon. Please continue to join and listen to Flashpoint.
Of course. As we get our morning started today, the 19th of June, I will say it again. Where is the time going? We are 19 days in the hurricane season, 19 days in the middle of the year, the middle month, in the sixth month of the year,
Can
19
you can you
days.
imagine, Lady Elise? Can you imagine, Lady Elise? You know,
I don't need to imagine. The reality is so real. And of course, it's time for our devotional as we get our morning off to
well,
an amazing
thank you
start.
so much for that, Lady Elise. Of course, as our devotional has come up, I just want to ask an imaginary question. Can you imagine going
Yes.
out and expecting snow to fall and there is no snow? You expect snow. We are expecting a hurricane. Where are the hurricanes? That's what
Don't ask. Okay. No,
I'm
don't
just
ask.
joking. All right, guys. Expectations Please, even that we don't want this time around. But you can imagine, there are some people might just want to see at least one. I don't know. Anyways, when we come back,
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Good morning. This is day 19. We are hard pressed on every side, yet not crushed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8. Overcoming the Resistance, written by Mart Dehaan. If you've ever tried to water ski, you know how the water seems to resist you before you get up on the surface. The boat's engine roars, your muscles strain, and the water does everything it can to keep you down. But if you know how to take advantage of the boat's power, you are lifted up, and within a few seconds, you are skimming over the surface of the same water that held you back at first. Water skiing provides an analogy to our Christian experience as we go through the deep waters of trial. We must learn to take advantage of God's power. At first, there is great struggle and effort as we hang on with all our might to some promise of God. The weight of our own weakness seems almost unbearable. But like the water that lifts the skis, our difficulties challenge us to draw on God's supernatural power. The Apostle Paul put it like this: we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellence of the power may be of God and not of us. Have we been willing to learn this spiritual truth? Have we viewed the deep waters of trial as an opportunity to realize the supernatural power that first lifts us up and then carries us over those same waters? When through the deep waters I call thee to go, the rivers of woe shall not thee overflow. For I will be with thee, thy trials to bless, and sanctify to thee thy deepest distress. Our quote this morning reads, trusting God can turn a trial into a triumph. End quote.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Welcome back. It is the breakfast hour, and we are here this morning giving thanks. I love the analogy of that devotion, Mikey.
yes. Wow, skiing. Wow, what
And
amazing.
being on the water,
Hmm.
and the potential is there for you to go under,
And
but the
struggle.
fact of the boat and that holding on keep you above the water. And so it is when we have the struggles of life. If we just hold on to God, then certainly we'll be able to sail. We will have the struggles, but we will make it. We will not be overwhelmed. And as that verse says, the fire, it won't kindle upon you, or the waters, it won't overcome you. because, of course, your anchor and your faith and your trust is in God. Welcome to the breakfast hour where we aim to give you that positivity that you need as you embrace your day. I don't know, you might be going to school, work, chilling at home. Whatever you are doing this morning, we are happy that you have chosen to spend the time with us right here on the breakfast hour. This is a historic moment, Mikey G.
It is an historic moment.
Yes.
Very historic, of course, you know. Today marks what we call Juneteenth. And we are here this morning, and of course, we are definitely going to be looking at a few highlights from this, what today means, and
Yeah.
what it actually is. Of course, we want to get into a news broadcast first, or newscast first, and then when we come back, we will definitely be looking at some of the things that matters on this day, especially when it comes on to black people and our freedom from slavery. And so, while we are not having Black History Month, we want to highlight each day what they mean. Even John Kununu Day, you know, kind of thing. So I guess we can acknowledge Black History Day at some point. If we can acknowledge those John Kununu days, we can acknowledge our Black history as well. So later on, when we come back from our news, of course, our news is brought to us by M&M Construction for all your construction needs right here in the Grand Cayman Islands. Our news comes up next.
Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509.
Good morning. It is Thursday, June 19th, and these are the news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. I'm Coralie Karen. PPM campaign spending under investigation. The People's Progressive Movement is under scrutiny after the Elections Office reported the party overspent by almost $220,000 during the last campaign. The PPM's total campaign spend was nearly $700,000, 45% over the legal limit of $480,000 allowed under the Elections Act, which permits 40. Elections Supervisor Wesley Howell has confirmed the matter has been referred to the Royal Cayman Islands Police and will eventually reach the Director of Public Prosecutions. 12 PPM candidates were covered by the party's spending, while Juliana O'Connolly, who joined mid-campaign, funded her own campaign at just under $14,000. Meanwhile, 5 unsuccessful candidates failed to submit expense reports, but on the current law, there is no penalty unless they were elected. Sentences reduced. Convictions stand in human smuggling case. A husband and wife convicted of human smuggling had their prison sentences reduced by the Grand Court on Monday. Justice Cheryl Richards ruled that the original sentences, 48 months for the husband and 40 months for the wife, were excessive. These have now been cut to 33 and 25 months, respectively. Despite their disruptive behavior during trial proceedings, the court upheld their convictions, which stemmed from the smuggling of 2 Ethiopian refugees into Cayman Brac. The couple had also been convicted of entering Cayman illegally and failing to complete disembarkation forms. 82-year-old Wing walks for animal welfare. In the UK, 82-year-old Sarah Hill, co-founder of the Cayman Islands Humane Society, took on a daring wing walk last weekend to raise funds for the Raystead Center for Animal Welfare. Hill, who helped establish the Humane Society in 1972, was strapped to a vintage American Stearman big plane and soared at 120 miles per hour to support animal causes near her East Sussex home. Donations can still be made via her Just Giving page or directly to the Cayman Islands Humane Society. Corporate Electric celebrates 25 years. Corporate Electric marked its 25th anniversary with the Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce reception last week at the Grand Cayman Marriott Resort. Managing Director David Johnston credited teamwork and training as the keys to the company's longevity. Offering electrical, IT and power solutions, Corporate Electric has grown steadily since its early days. Chamber President Omari Corbin emphasized the vital role of small businesses like Corporate Electric in sustaining the economy. And in regional news, PM Gonzalez questions OECS role in CARICOM's CSME. St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, now chair of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, is raising concerns over the relevance of OECS participation in CARICOM's single market and economy. Speaking at the OECS Assembly, Gonzalez noted that OECS countries may need to reconsider their role within the CSME if persistent inequities remain unresolved. He acknowledged the OECS's deeper integration compared to CARICOM, but highlighted long-standing trade disadvantages, especially in manufacturing, faced by smaller OECS states. Gonzalez warned that unless regional inequities are addressed, the CARICOM integration effort could become more burdensome than beneficial for smaller members. Those were your news headlines on Flashpoint Radio. Please continue to stay with us throughout the day.
Looking to build your dream home or renovate your space? M&M Construction is the perfect place. We bring your vision to life with precision and quality craftsmanship. From design to construction, we guide you every step, ensuring seamless coordination and superior results. Our professional roof inspection and maintenance services will ensure that your roof is sturdy this hurricane season. So, if you are ready to start your construction journey, call us today at 345-927-7509. Build with confidence. Build with M&M Construction. 345-927-7509. Need help to produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen. The unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
Is, of course, the breakfast hour. And having breakfast with me this morning is a gentleman. What did you bring? Is it ackee and saltfish with roasted breadfruit or crystal punch? What did you bring?
Lady Elise, I didn't bring any of those, no, but I wish some of that here this morning. I certainly would indulge. I certainly could do with some of that this
I
morning.
think you have brought something much more valuable than the temporal of food, but you have brought a word, mission,
Yes.
and mission is on our minds. So tell us what you're sharing with us this morning. What have you brought?
Well, I'm here to share with you and your audience the fact that we're going to Belize on a mission trip,
Oh,
and
wow.
this is off the backdrop that we have just recently come back from Honduras with Cayman Academy, from a mission trip down there, which was
When you say we, tell us who are
well,
the.
it was my family, some other parents of children from Cayman Academy,
Mm-hmm,
students of Cayman Academy, and teachers, principal, and a whole contingent. I think it was uh, 27,
mm-hmm,
27 of us that went down there, and we went on there to bring hope to the people in terms of the gospel, and it was quite engaging. We actually went there. We painted a church, painted part of a school, visited the hospital, praying for people, giving out care packages in the hospital. We did the same in the community. It was an intense 1 week, but I tell you, God was glorified. One of the main takeaway from me from that
mm-hmm.
mission trip was all these young people. 'Cause it was mostly students from Cayman Academy that were on the trip, and just for them to get a sense that we live here in the Cayman Islands and it's so nice and laid back, just to see them engage in a different environment where there's actually so much need,
Mm-hmm.
and for them to understand that this is what God want us to do, to really go on a mission trip. I know you didn't call me here this morning to talk about that mission
Yeah,
trip,
I mean it's
but
it's always good to have the conversation because then you want to know the background or why you're going to Belize, but now you know you're this is not your first trip. You have been to Honduras and it was good and it was educational at the same time,
yeah,
but it must have given you that sense of accomplishment to know that it's not about just you or your immediate neighbors, but somebody else in another vineyard who might need your help.
definitely. It's that for one, and two, this is what Christ called us to do. Christ is calling people who will go.
Mm-hmm.
And when you look at the mandate of the church
Mm-hmm.
from the division level coming down, the theme for the past say 4 or 5 years is I
I
will
will
go.
go. Yes.
So we know that God is looking for people in this day and age who will get up and go. When you look at all the trips that we have been through, we have been to we go to Africa, we go to Europe, we go to the Middle East, we go to all over the Caribbean,
Yes.
Central America, all over. And usually it's just to go and have fun, just to go to know somewhere new
Mm-hmm.
and to let your hair down. But when we can take our vacation time and instead of going
Vacationing.
just vacationing
Yes.
and really use it to go be the hands and feet of Jesus, I think
Yes.
that is what God really called us to do. And this is a trip. We started out from the Ephesus Church along with ASI. ASI is a big sponsor of this trip. It's a collaboration between the Ephesus Church and ASI. But now the trip has been extended to more than just Ephesus and ASI because we have a number of churches that have come on board, and whether some of them have donated money, Others have sponsored a worker because we're going to Belize to build a church for one. They requested two churches, but we can't take on two. We're taking on one for now. So we're going down there to build a church. They break ground about 3 weeks ago, and they're going to do some legwork before we get there. And then we're going there now to put up the building and to put on the top on the building. And while we're there, we're going to be having evangelistic services in the nights.
Mm-hmm.
So again, similar to Honduras. It's going to be an intense 2 week where it's going to be work, night and day. Also, we have a team that is coming with us, and they're going to be having VBS with the children in the days. And I understand it's a large contingent of children. So if you're out there, you're listening, and you want something to do for this summer, and you want to even give the work of the Lord, a part of your vacation to the work of the Lord, and you want to come on down with us to Belize, we're inviting you. There's work for everybody. We're looking for construction workers. We have like 3 churches already that are sponsored. Some construction workers along with the Exodus Church. Barton Church has sponsored construction workers. And what we have happening also is that people are going to be working in BDS. We need helpers, construction helpers to work alongside the tradesmen that are going to be there. We need people who can help out with in the kitchen. We need people who are
Suppose you
body
can't do
workers.
any of those things.
If you can't do any of those things, I can tell you that there'll be something there that everybody can
Can
do.
do, right?
Yeah, so it's a mission trip. It's not a trip where we're going there just for fun. But in all of that, we're going to be making time. We're going to be having downtime where we're just going to spend a day or two and just go see Belize and you know try to enjoy the place as well.
What are the requirements though? Do you need like a visa or any sort of special travel arrangements to get to Belize?
Well, from here to Belize, the most traveled route or the most the expected route is through Miami. So we fly from here to Miami and from Miami to Belize. There are some people who express interest, but they don't have the visa. So the other routes are through Panama. You don't need a U.S. visa. You go through Panama or Honduras. Um, so if you want to come, there's really not a barrier that should stop you from coming because if you don't have a U.S. visa, you can still come. And we're looking for for people who can come. If you can't come, we're looking for donations. I have the application form, the donation form, and all of that. I'll send those to you, Lady Elise, in case there's a call you could share it with your audience for those who want to donate or those who want to come and be a part of this trip. They, we need funds for building the church, for one. Um, we are we have been we're going to be sending off some money to start the building. Also, we need funds for the evangelistic series that we're going to be having for the 2 weeks. We also need funds for the VBS. We have the VBS that's going to be going on. We're going to be giving out care packages in the community, and there should be some health checks as well. So we're doing a number of things, and we have a number of individuals who are coming along on the trip so far. But still, there's the only room that is the only room that is never full is the room for improvement. So yeah, you want to come along.
And you
You
know,
can always.
I want you to recognize that we have viewers that are from a wide landscape.
What's up?
So we have persons who are from US, UK, Canada, Jamaica, and it is good that there are no limitations as to if you want to come and you're in the US or in the UK. This is talk about the money part of it because they want to know if boy this sounds
Yeah.
expensive 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's amazing that you should say that, Lady Elise, because we have people who are coming with us who are coming from the Bahamas, from Jamaica. They're not only people from Cayman will be coming on this trip. So we have people from other jurisdiction that will be on this trip.
Yes.
So it's amazing that you should say that. So if you're out there and you're listening from another country and you want to be a part of this trip, there's no limitation. You can be a part of the trip, or you can give a donation. Now the flyer, I see you have the flyer up.
Yes.
On the flyer there, the cost, you're asking about the cost.
Yes.
The cost is 1,500 CI dollars for each person. That takes care of the airfare. The majority of that will be the airfare because we'll have to travel. You'll be buying two-way tickets for Miami and also from Miami to Belize, back from Belize to Miami and back to here. So the majority of that money will go to the purchase of the tickets. But I want to inform you that all the other expenses are taken care of in that price. So the place for where you'll be staying, your food, transportation on the ground, all of that is in that $1,500. And so, well, I've not been to Belize, but from talking to the folks on the ground down there, they have convinced us that things are so much cheaper in Belize than here in the Cayman Islands. Uh, yeah,
I stayed in Belize for a yeah.
yes, yes, right, yeah.
Yeah.
I think my mic was off a while ago. I think my mic was off. Sorry. I asked a question and I think the listeners didn't hear a word I said. The question that I asked earlier was that, you know, the idea of the money that is being spent for the trip, most of it is for the airfare, and the cost of Belize is it must be much less, significantly less, and what the economy is like. So I wanted to give the backdrop because I think my mic was off just for a minute for the purpose of that part. But I am segueing into saying that the money, the wealth of the Cayman Islands and other parts of the world, the impact that we can have in countries like Belize is magnificent. It's very vast, and so we should. I think this is a very good move to utilize the resources that we possess to help in in the ministry and the mission of the work and spreading the gospel. The question is for me is what is it? Do you know this? The size of the church that the capacity of the church. Let's use this word. The capacity of the church that you want, the structure that you want to build. And I don't want to use the word church to say we are building a church. I want to say we are building a temple for God. So, what is the capacity for you, if you know what we are looking at?
Well, the truth is that the church that we're planning to build is not it's not a massive church. It's going to be, I can't remember the dimensions off the top of my head. No, but that's something I could, furnish. But it's a small church. What happened is that the church that we have opted to build is going to be in the mountains, and a number of the people there are the original Aztecs, indigenous people from there.
Ah,
And the gospel came to them. They accepted the gospel.
strategic, huh?
Yeah,
Yes.
but what is
Yes.
happening is that they don't have a building. They'll have a lot of land, but there's no building. So we're going there to help them to. We're going to be helping them to erect that building, so that they'll have a place of worship. And that church is going to be serving a wide cross section of people, and it's going to help to promote the gospel more in that section of Belize. So that's, as you said, it's strategic. It's really strategic, and that's why we're going there to really assist them
Well, all right. I thank you for
to
that
erect that
answer
structure.
What's the date
because
again?
The date,
no, I say I thank you for the
yeah,
answer. I'm finished.
oh, the date we're going there from the 27th of July until the 10th of August, for 2 weeks. It's an intense 2 weeks, so we're going there to really impact the people there, and they're looking forward to us coming, and we're looking forward to going there, and we're going there on mission for Jesus. And we continue to appeal. Anybody who wants to come on board, whether you want to donate or physically come and be a part of this trip, we welcome you.
It sounds exciting. And you mentioned when you started that when we take our trips out, we take our vacation, we want to rest and relax. But the memory that's etched in your mind from such a trip, it's way above getting money or, just saying putting something else in your album or this or another, but actually reaching persons. And a lot of the time when we go on vacation, we don't really see we don't get the real experience.
So true.
This seems to be what will give you the real experience, meeting the people on the ground, eating their food, knowing what authentic culture is,
So true.
integrating with them, and also sharing a part of you.
It's amazing you should say that now because that is so true. I've been to countries with the Middle East, Africa, and you go on those trips and you really don't get to meet and interact with the local people. And you go and you visit these countries and you might have a bucket list and you cross that one off. I've been there, done that. But this trip, as you said, it will etch memories in your mind that you will never forget. Just recent with the Honduras trip, just to see the young people come alive, just to hear the conversations that they were having, getting to know the local people and getting to interact with people and getting to help. And that's something that they'll never ever forget, and it's going to form an impression on their mind that listen, this is what God calls me to do and expect me to do, and that is.
Go ahead, finish, and then I'll say something.
No, I was going to say that is why it is so important for us to expose our young people to mission trips like this, where they can realize that it's not all about me. It's not all about even my society, but there are other people out there that God expects us to reach. And if we don't go, possibly those people never be reached.
I'm asking if all right. So my question would be, the language, is there a language barrier? Or do we possess the gift of tongues to talk to the people?
It's amazing that you should ask that because originally, the English, from what I understand, like I tell you, I've never been to Belize, but from talking to Pastor Campbell, which was the person who sent out SOS for us to come over, the Macedonian call for us to come over and help out. From talking to him and others, the English is widely spoken in Belize, but of course there are Spanish communities. And when they planned the evangelistic series, it was supposed to be in a predominantly English-speaking community. Now they've switched and they placed their predominantly Spanish.
So now the gift of tongues is necessary.
I'm here wondering, how that is going to pan out because I'm going to have to be using an interpreter to reach the people.
I remember the Tower Babel immediately. I'm going to the Tower Babel.
I will do the gift of tongues, but the plan is to use an interpreter when we get there.
God is able, Fenslie, and you sit here with that calm reassurance about mission and loving people. This is love in action. It's not just talking the talk. So the language of love will transcend, and I'm sure persons will be reached. The God that we serve is a powerful and amazing God. The one who knows all and sees all, the beginning from the end.
Wow.
He knew this would be happening now. And I'm sure He's going to empower you and the interpreter, and souls will be blessed by this mission. If you're listening, and if you are listening and not share the link, please share the link. Someone needs to know. This trip is only 1,500 CI.
For those who believe.
I never invited in here before because I could put down their $500, their $200 from the year stuff.
Yeah, they could do a layaway plan. They could do a layaway.
I have to take the blame for that because you guys have been inviting me here for a long time, and but I'm really glad that I'm here, and it's not too late. We know that we're just like over a month from the trip,
Yes.
but I know God will bless, and God have blessed some people with some extra funds. If you could donate to the trip, um, that would be really good. Uh, Lady Elise have all the details there. The flyers
Right.
up, the phone numbers are there. The email address is there, and you can contact us through one of those phone numbers, 939-1933. The other one is what,
50805.
5250805. Any one of those two numbers. If you're calling from overseas, the air code is 345. And the email address that we have up there is skipp3673 at hotmail.com. So you can contact us and you can make your donation. I can tell you that it will be put to very, very good use. And I'm looking for, God willing, we go, we come back, and we'll come back right here and share the wonderful report of how God would have used us to impact the people of Belize. As you were talking, Lady Elise, about, how God, or when we share love, it transcends in every language and even culture. It just dropped in my spirit a quotation. Christ's method alone. Christ's method alone will win people. It says that Christ went out and he mingled with the people as one who desired their good. And having done that, he won their confidence. And after he would have won their confidence, then and only then, he bids them to follow him. And this is what we plan to do. We plan to go there, be Christ's hands and feet, mingle with the people, do some work with the people, work for them, so that we can, know them on that level. And then know, having won their confidence, we can say, you know what, follow Christ. Because we're not just going down there for the people who are building the church for, but we're going down there for the others who have not known Christ yet.
I'd want to say that you're expecting a Pentecostal moment, a day of Pentecost once again, like back in the day of old with Jesus, the disciples, when they came out and started to preach, and every man would hear their language in their own tongue.
Amen. It's amazing you say that, because it said without hope, without faith, it is impossible to please God.
Impossible to please God.
Yeah, we have faith that God is going to do something wonderful.
Amazing, yes.
We're hoping, that God is going to show up through us and is going to impact those people. Like I tell you, we just come back from Honduras, and let me tell you, that was just amazing. There are so many different, I don't want to say incident because that sounds negative, but there were so many different interactions with the people down there that just blew our mind. One stood out in my mind right now. I remember we were traveling on this road, and this man was sitting on the sidewalk. He was just there playing. When we got there, he was actually playing gospel music. It was in Spanish, of course. And he was sitting there. I don't know, it seemed like he was a beggar, but he was sat there playing gospel music with this box. He was sitting at the box. And just approaching, while we were approaching him, the man fell off the sidewalk and fell in the road. And I was sitting in the front of the bus with the driver, and the bus was heading right to run over the man's head. And just in time, I shouted out, and the driver must have seen, and he stopped the vehicle just in time. And the man was ill. My wife was there as a medical doctor, and we had nurses and other people were there. They administered care to the man. And we managed to, after administering care, to get him home. And we saw him days after. He was fine and doing well. And we say, you know what? God is so good, because I know the devil meant that for evil. He wanted some evil, but God turned it around for good.
Can you imagine the persons who come to help actually cause someone's death at the first instance? That would be a tragedy.
That would have been a tragedy.
Yeah.
God is mighty. God is mighty.
And I wanna, I just listened to the conversation and hearing the mission trip. This is what, as you said before, that we are required to do, and we need to be more involved in doing more of this. And so I'm happy to hear that the Ephesus Church and the other partners have taken on this, with ASI and the other members, has taken to do this as a very good venture, not for yourself or to get self-praise, but for bringing glory to Jesus Christ. who we serve every
And
single day.
what Elder Fez is saying, just download in his spirit. But this trip is not only for the persons that you're going to meet in
Not
Belize.
at all.
So each person who goes on this trip will also have a rich experience.
We're, we're going to be drawn closer to Jesus by
Yes.
going on this trip. Because whenever you partner to do God's work, you know that God is there with you through the person of the Holy Spirit. His angels are going to be there guiding the work. So through that experience, you always draw closer to God. And he's talking about people going on the trip. We have Pastor Bevan who's going to be going with us on that trip. He's from Belize. He's a
Belize,
pastor
yes.
here. He's going to be going on the trip to Belize. So we're looking forward to him. We have another Belizean who is here in Ireland who's planning to come on the trip as well, along with us who are local, and we have people from overseas. It's gonna be an exciting trip. So if you're out there and you have not fully planned for your summer, or you want to negate on that plan and give a few of those days or a week towards the trip, because some people are not coming for the full 2 weeks. Some people can only afford a week. Some people cannot come at all. They're donating. So in whatever capacity you can support the trip, we invite you to come on board and lend your support.
All right. So finally, I want you to speak to the listeners. I know you just spoke to them a while ago. You're going to talk to them again. Tell them all about this trip. Tell them where Belize is located, why they need to come on the trip, what you're going to accomplish on that trip, how they can come on the trip, the dates for the trip. Just tell them all of that. Just package it for us so that a listener can just hear them, just hop on, and they want to hear why we are here talking this morning about going to Belize.
Awesome.
Yes.
Belize is in Central America. They are our neighbors. They're actually Caribbean country, and bordering the Caribbean Sea. They're in Central America. Belize is a rich tourist area. It's a country that see a lot of tourists each year, and they are our brothers and our sisters. And God expects us to care for everyone, just like how we evangelize here and look out for those on island here. We're just extending that to another country. That happens to Belize, to be Belize at this time. And we're saying that when we go on this trip, we're going there to offer blessing to these people. But from my experience, every time you go out to bless somebody, you're the one who always leave with a greater blessing happen. Visit sick people and people who are suffering, and before I leave, I'm in tears, and the tears are tears of joy, because here I am supposed to come and bless you, and it turned out that I'm receiving the blessing. So I know that this trip is not going to be any different. We're going there with the intention to impact Belize and for good for Christ. But I know that we're going to come back rejoicing, just like Honduras or wherever else we've gone to minister. And we're going to come back, we're going to be rejoicing and say to God be the glory. So we're saying, if you can come along, make the trip, come with us. You can't come, you can donate towards the trip. Some people can't come. Some churches, they sponsor someone to come. Some people can't come, but they sponsor somebody, or they give a donation. It will be put to very good use. And when you donate to this trip or come and give your service, you are actually laying up treasures in heaven. And that is what Christ asks us to do. Don't lay up your treasure on this earth where moth and where it rot and rust and moth eats it out. But God is telling us, lay up that treasure in heaven where no thieves or robbers can reach it.
So July 27 to August 10, all roads and flights lead to
Belize.
Yes.
Well, I want to add my quote of thanks, Fenslie Smith, for joining us this morning for the breakfast hour to give us this wealth of information. Of course, I know our listeners and viewers are benefiting from it, and I hope that this message will reach persons who have deep pockets, and willing hearts to give to the cause.
I want to thank you guys so much for having me. and it was a pleasure being here. And I just want to qualify what Mikey said a while ago. Not just deep pockets, even if the pockets are shallow. It's definitely deep pockets, but if the pocket is shallow, whatever donation, we'll still accept it. It will go to the benefit of God's cause. God bless you. Thank you, Lady Elise. It was a pleasure being here. Really appreciate you guys. Thanks.
Need help to produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969.
To share with you as well as something is happening right in your neighborhood, right next door. If you did not know and if you haven't had a chance to come on board, so of course, Elder Fenslie, just tell us what's happening.
Thank you so much, Lady Elise, and for allowing me to just say a few words about a series that we're having. We're having a series at the King's Church. It's a series that is happening between two churches. It's the King's Church and the Exodus Church coming together, and it's called Hope for the Coming Crisis series. And we've gone 2 weeks already, and this is our final week. We have one service. There's no service this evening, but there'll be a service on Friday evening, and then there's another service on Sabbath where we have the final service. And the speaker is our dynamic international evangelist, Pastor Vaughn Henry. He's the speaker, and the co-evangelist, host pastor, Pastor Kevin Danvers. They're the two pastors overseeing the series. The series have been going very, very well so far. We have been ministering to people in the community, nights after nights and on Sabbaths. And so far we have 16 people have been baptized.
Wonderful.
And we're having a grand baptism this weekend again. And we're looking forward to what God is going to do. So I'm saying that for this Friday night, all roads lead to the King Seventh-day Adventist Church, Friday night on Sabbath, when we'll have our last two services for the Hope for the Crisis, for the Coming Crisis Evangelistic Series with dynamic speaker and international evangelist, Pastor Vaughn Henry. So I'm inviting you out, come on down and be a part of the series.
I was trying to ask a question. Is there another series? Is there a youth series going on? I'm trying to.
There's a
Yes.
youth series going on at Georgetown Church. I really don't know much about it.
Let's share that with you as well. Let's see if we have that one up as well.
Okay. Echoes of Eternity.
Echoes of Eternity, June 15 to June 21. I accept Thursday.
Right. So yeah. So Echoes of Eternity, another series that is going on there at the Georgetown Church, and it's geared towards the youth. You're in the Cayman Islands. You're a youth. Please come on down and enjoy the series. I understand it's going very well as well. And we have Pastor
Vargas Jr.
Yeah, Pastor Vargas Jr., who is the speaker there, and he's here with a team from one of our universities there at the Georgetown Church. So please come on if once you can, please come out and be a part of that as well. It's especially if you're a youth. I realize that at the King's Church we don't have the youth there. But a lot of them have gone over to Georgetown Church, rightly so. That's their program. You understand?
Okay, there you have it. Lots happening. But remember, you can't say you're bored, right? No, there's no reason to be bored.
Once you accept Christ, you can never be bored again. I really, people say that church is boring. I've been in this church over 20 odd years and I've never even been bored. Let me tell you something, there's so many things to learn. I can't even find the time to learn a quarter of the things that I want to learn.
Yes.
So there's no time to be bored.
No time to be bored.
When you're living and working for Christ, there's no boredom.
With that note, I'm going to join Elder Smith to say that is so true. And I'm going to be 100% saying the same thing. I was wondering, I was doing so many different things sometimes. And I was asking myself a few days ago, what was I thinking? Because right now I have so much to do here. I've been engulfed in all the things that I can do for God, so many different ways. That boredom is not a part of the script. It's like the curriculum don't have any space for it. You know, so when somebody says that, I find it that that person may have been inactive or choose to be, and so boredom will come. So I believe that the statement to use that I would say to someone, if you are somebody who claims the Christian faith, then working is going to be the option for you. If you don't work, then boredom must be the thing, because you're not doing anything and you will regress. You won't progress.
So true, Elder Mike. Sometimes I feel like I want like 2 or 3 more lights just to get things I have to do just to get them done. You know, there's certainly no boredom at all. No, you can't be bored.
I want to thank you so much, Elder Smith, for joining us this morning on the Breakfast Hour. We have certainly had a rich experience, better than any ackee saltfish and roast breadfruit and banana. Of course, the experience has been truly beneficial, and I hope our listeners have gained something from this experience. This is a person on the mission field for God, and that is an important place to be. Thank you so much for
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, Lady Elise. Elder Mikey, thank you so much for having me. God bless.
All right, guys, so when we come back,
Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee. Yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of way. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the doorway or any exit. Stairs might block up or full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Take cover under a strong table or a bed, or crouch against an inside wall or in a corner, and cover your face and your head with your arms. Remember, DCH, drop, cover, hold on. Glass windows and doors, outside walls and doors in an earthquake, bad news. Take for yourself. Most injuries during earthquakes happen when something drop and hit people entering or exiting a building. Last thing, don't want to run outside and ask, you feel it, you feel it? Remain calm, stay indoors until all the shaking stop, and do the DCH, drop, cover, hold on.
When you need ultrasound that's safe and effective, you must visit Asai Ultrasound Imaging. They're conveniently located at number 4, Chestnut Center, Smith Road, Georgetown, Cayman Islands. With experienced technologists with over 20 years experience, their friendly staff will make you comfortable while you get your procedure done. Asai Ultrasound Imaging is open Mondays to Fridays, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Call Asai Ultrasound Imaging 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426. That's 345-949-2454 or 345-938-3426.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
What a beautiful experience this morning. It is the breakfast hour, and we want to thank you for sticking and staying. If you're driving or chilling or on your way to work and wondering what you need to do this summer, here is the vision that you have received. Please go to Belize.
Amen. All right, here we go. All right, so for those who are planning the Belize trip, guys, it's going to be an exciting one. I hear Ella Smith says, when you go down there, you're going to learn how to speak in tongues.
You're going to learn how to speak in tongues if necessary.
I was wondering, I missed the question to ask if the Cayman Academy have an English, Spanish, or a bilingual program that is being run. Is there one?
You think God has some ways of showing up, and His way is you don't have to think about every single thing about how the people gonna understand. If you just put everything to God and your mission is about sharing love, believe me, He will provide the way, the interpretation, and everything. Anyway, before I start preaching this morning,
All right.
and I'm in a worship session and all, and
Amen. Hallelujah, sister. Praise the Lord. Yes, all right.
Sister, praise the Lord. Before all of that, I just want to spend time, and as I said, spend the time to share with you other things that are celebrated today, the 19th of June, Mikey G.
Well, all right, but all right, fine, it is. I think today, all right, go ahead and celebrate with us. Tell us what to celebrate. What we are celebrating on June 19th. As you said, it's like a runaway. June is like a runaway train. It is just moving as fast. It's faster than a locomotive, a speeding locomotive.
All right, so today is a popular day in the U.S. celebrated as Juneteenth. And you would have wondered, what is Juneteenth all about?
Yes.
We have put together a short video that will share this information with you.
19th, we celebrate Juneteenth, marking the end of slavery in the U.S. The story begins in Texas, where Major General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston on June 19, 1865. He brought the news that slavery had officially ended, a moment that changed lives forever. As the community gathered, they heard General Orders Number 3 for the first time. They learned the Civil War was over, and after more than a century of bondage, they were free. Juneteenth is a powerful reminder of resilience and freedom. Let's honor this day together. #Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth. Yeah. All right, ladies, as I explore this one this morning, I find myself thinking about it in so many different ways, right? And I mean, even after the freedom of slaves, I just listen to the wickedness that existed at that time.
Yeah,
and even today, it's still perpetrated in softer ways. In smiles being hidden with that. It's like a hug with a dagger to stab you in the back or to slit your throat, kind of thing. And it is like a cloud, a thick cloud everywhere, and an elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, but it exists just the same. In so many ways that this racism is existing, and black people are not even liked by their own black people. I don't understand that, but
that's so
that's another situation. I wanted to share with us that video, um, another video from to just tell us. I think
My dad one day,
yes.
why didn't you kick their ass?
let me
Why
start
didn't you kick their ass?
let's start from the
Yeah,
beginning.
and let me set it up. Let me set it up a little bit too. Let me set it up a little
And
bit
he
too.
had the greatest line ever. He said, I had a sign. The sign was up here, white.
All right, so we want to just let you know this one. All right, I want to set this one up a little bit. It is Juneteenth has arrived, and of course, we black people would have gotten the slave masters permission to be people at this point, because civil rights, and I tell people this all the time, that civil rights don't mean that you are people. It means that you get the status, like it is similar to the idea of apartheid in South Africa when it was there, and you could be an honorary white person. So civil rights is saying you're an honorary person, not necessarily that you are, and that's what civil rights actually is. And when I look at it, and we are, as people who study history, we know this thing. All right, so let's hear this. This is after years after Juneteenth occurred. This is happening, and this man is, everybody knows this famous person, and let's hear what he has to say for himself, experiencing racism even after post slavery.
We were in Montgomery, and I couldn't read the signs. The sign was up here, white only, black only. And I didn't see the sign, and I ran up and just went to the water fountain. Well, as I came back from the water fountain, these 4 guys came and they were harassing my dad, and I kept...
They were white.
They're white. And I kept thinking to myself, these guys better really calm down, because my dad's going to kick their ass. Because, I know Dad. He's a military guy, and he takes no mess. And Dad didn't say a word. And I remember saying to my dad one day, why didn't you kick their ass? You turned and cowardly walked away. And he had the greatest line ever. He said, I had a choice that day of either being a man or your father. I knew that if I fought them, they would kill me. And I chose to be your dad.
Wow. I don't think I have to say much on that, because that speaks for itself, And today, even across the world, not different places, you will still find that this is still occurring. People still experience racism in this way. And, it is funny that even in God's church, it exists.
We find so many ways, Michael G, to bring and build walls and barriers and differences and make us, it's unfortunate sometimes that for us to feel good about ourselves, we need to trample on somebody else. So we need to squash you in order for me to feel good. That's an unfortunate place to be. But it is the world, imperfect world we live in. And though we bring these messages to you, we just want to remind you, as we started this morning, that if we recognize our foundation, our stability is not just in the temporal things, but we foster that contact and that communication with God, then certainly we are having the recipe we need for success. It is the breakfast hour. I am Lady Elise, and of course, Mikey G and I are happy to be in the studio today with you. I want to thank you for joining us this morning, whether you have joined on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, no matter the social media platform that you're watching us on, or if you're listening, www.flashpointmedia.ky. Big up Nikki B. Later, Flash Talks will come on, and you don't want to miss that. So thank you for tuning in this morning for the breakfast hour. Thank you, Corey Karen, for the news. Thank you, Fenslie Smith, for coming in studio and sharing with us what's happening this summer.
So I want to say thanks, add my quote of thank you, Lady Elise. It's time, the time has passed. The clock on the wall says it's time for us to get out of studio. Remember, www.flashpointmedia.ky. Web radio continues all day. Remember, the link up later on. Yeah, man.
And a special good morning to the lady Charming Charm. Charming Charm.
Charm and I having a conversation. You see?
Charming Charm. Have a beautiful day, my dearest.
I was saying Charm and I was having a conversation. We talked a little bit about a few things. I think I should call her up and we have another bit of conversation around the same idea. Good morning, Charm. How are you? I want to say good morning to Patsy Hill as well.
Yes, thank you, Pats. And I want to thank all our listeners and viewers for tuning in this morning on the breakfast hour. It has been a rich, wonderful morning. Tomorrow it's going to be all Gospel Friday. Later, come on, is Flash Talk, and we're talking about friendship. Very important. Friendship, that ship, that sail, the ship of friends. Anyway, tune in and stay connected. The link up at 2 o'clock. Can hear some nice tunes from way back when and from now, of course, right here on Flashpoint. To join, log on to www.flashpointmedia.ky. That's it for today, guys. See you soon. Have a wonderful one. It was good being here.
Uncut edition. Say it just how you feel it.
No filters, no fluff, just real talk with the full Flashpoint fam. Get with it.
From hot takes to belly laughs, the crew is locked in and ready.
From debates that might get a little spicy, including all VIP members.
This is where vibes meets voice, jokes meets proof, and we talk things.
We are here to get real.
It's raw, it's real, and it's about time.
But big conversations.
This is Flash Talks, the uncut edition. Flash Farm. What are the things then now?
Real people, real voices, real conversations.
Flash Talk, the uncut edition, at 7 p.m. every Thursday, right here on Flashpoint.
Need help to produce your podcast? Flashpoint Media makes it very easy. We can relieve you of the headache by recording your podcast for you. So, take the first step to getting your content to your desired audience. Contact us here at Flashpoint and your podcast will be live in no time. Our website is www.flashpointmedia.ky or call us at 345-321-6969. That's 345-321-6969.
I'm Audley Scott, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. Rise and shine. Your morning boost of inspiration, news, and fun. With Mikey G, Lady Elise, and Coralie Karen, the unmistakable combination, synergized to navigate.
It's like we're running in circles, going around every day, getting stuck in the hurdles of yesterday. Don't you wanna go further, away from the fray? Let's not get stuck in our worries, we'll make our own way. Won't you come outside where the sunflowers bloom? Breathe in the air, look up to the moon. I'll meet you outside, away from the crowd, just you and me together. It will all seem better outside, just us in the sky. Part of this circus? Is it innate?
Hi, I'm Claude Edwards, and you're listening to Flashpoint Radio. You know, wherever I travel around the globe, I have access to Flashpoint Radio, and so should you. Flashpoint Radio, in a class all by itself.